Alright, another Sunday. It's March 6th, 2011. I weighed in at 163 this morning, which may be up a pound from last week. I'm not sure. I've pretty much been stuck between 161 and 163 forever and a day now. Still not concerned about it. If the number were to go above 163, I would be concerned. Right now, I don't really have a problem with it. I just don't. It's not that I haven't been working out, and it's not that I haven't been eating right. It's just, I've had a few things I shouldn't have had. Well, I shouldn't say that I shouldn't have had to eat, because I don't think you should totally deprive yourself of everything. Moderation. Moderation and exercise, the key to health. But, yeah, so, I mean, I had some chocolate chip cookies this week. Actually, I had them Saturday. I don't know that I necessarily think that that had anything to do with the fact that my weight has literally stayed between 161 and 163 a week. It was definitely one of the most stressful weeks that I've had so far in the last 8.5 months. Just kind of felt like everything that could not work out according to plan did, or the idea of things not working out according to plan happened this week. I mean, it was pretty much set in stone from the first day of the week that I was going to be stressed out all week, because Maddie was having surgery on Thursday, and I was super freaked out about that. I hate when they, have to give your animal medicine so that they go to sleep so they can do whatever they need to do to them. I hate that. It scares the living daylights out of me, because I'm afraid they're never going to wake back up. But it just freaks me out. It makes me sick. Makes Maddie sick too, that's why she's barking. So I had to deal with that for the first part of the week. I did absolutely no strength training this week. I did no martial arts this week. I ran, and I ran, and I ran some more, and I walked this week. I believe I ended up with 46 or 47 miles this week. I went on my furthest run that I've been on to date. It was 8.94 miles. I ran the first 6.68 miles, was a steady run, did not stop to walk at all. And then I ran by a clock, and I saw that I had been running for an hour, and for some reason that messed with my head for a little bit. And so I walked probably about 50 paces, trying to get everything back in my head straight so that I could continue walking. I don't know, it messes with you a little bit sometimes. And then it started to mist, and the last the last 2 miles, wasn't great. I had to walk like 3 times for a couple minutes so that I could get my glasses cleaned off and stuff, because it was raining, and glasses are definitely a challenge sometimes. They were, but I made it. I felt great when I got back home. I walked Maddie a little bit. Everything was good. Today, I forgot that I had ran as far as I did yesterday, and by right, I either shouldn't have ran today, or I should have only ran like a mile. I should have done some sort of cross-training activity today if I wanted to exercise at all today, but I told Zara that we would run. And yes, I'm aware of the fact that Zara's a dog, and that she probably doesn't remember when I tell her that we're going to run. But you know what? You've never met this dog. I think this dog probably remembers that it's going to go on a run, that you told it you would take it on a run. So I started to run, and as soon as I started to run, I was like, oh, this is bad. You ran far yesterday. Your legs hurt bad. I ran the first mile, picked Zara up. We walked the next 3, Basically, we would run a fourth of a mile and then walk 50 to 100 paces and then run a fourth of a mile and continue that for 3 miles. And the last mile we did run, we had a 10-minute pace. Not horrible, especially considering the fact that we walked a little bit. Not super awesome. I mean, I would have liked more like a 9:13 pace. And I know it seems like it's only a few seconds, like 45 seconds, big whoop, but yeah, every second matters. Every step matters, every mile matters. However, I just figured that when I do the half marathon, at some point I'm going to be tired, and I'm going to have to figure out a way to push through the tiredness to finish the last set of miles. So I was kind of using it as a training opportunity. So I could wrap my head around, when you get tired and you feel like this is what you need to do. I just think it's a good idea to have a plan, and if you can practice your plans, then all the better. Because as I've said before, race day is so much different than a normal run day. So much different than a normal run day. So there was that. There were a few work things that were a little stressful. Writing new menus is fun and not fun at the same time. And I didn't get as far as I would have liked to have got, and that was very stressful to me because I had a plan to get 4 weeks of menus done, and it didn't happen. I got 1 week done. So that was super stressful, and then you have the Maddie thing, and that was super stressful, and then I've been working on my master's now for, I think this would be the 7th year, and the idea was to do an internship this summer where I currently work, because that would make my life simpler, and graduate this summer, and the whole thing would be done with. Went to my internship thing. I cannot do my internship where I currently work, which really super sucks, because if you know me, one of the most important things to me is probably my job. If people loved their job half as much as I love my job, shoot, people would like getting up on Monday morning to go to work. So basically, I either have to sacrifice to do an internship. Granted, I get that it's only going to be 5 or 6 weeks, but I'm going to have to either sacrifice my job, which I love, and not do it to the best of my ability, most likely, or sacrifice my training and not train as hard as I am right now. Well, that was my initial reaction. I was pretty upset when I heard this news that I couldn't, that my life's plan wasn't going to work out quite as I had planned for it to. But here's the thing. When I do my internship, it actually happens to be the last 5 or 6 weeks before it'll officially be 1 year since I've been trying to be healthy and fit, which seems insanely ridiculous that it will be a year at that point. But my goal for 2011 was to push myself as hard as I possibly could, become as fit and as healthy as possible, and just, you know, take 2011 to the extreme. What better test? I mean, really, what better test than to work 12-hour days, try to fit your training in, but here's the thing, eat right. I mean, what better test to prove to yourself that you can do this for the long haul? So, I'm going to figure this all out, and I am not going to sacrifice a thing. However, it's going to require me to be very, very, very organized. I mean, like, very organized, like, literally down to the 15 minutes of what I think is free time. If on my schedule it says do dishes, that's going to be the only time I have to do dishes. Basically, the way I have this schedule, I was trying to figure out in my head, and granted 5-6 weeks doesn't seem like a long time, but if you have a super strict schedule, yeah, it's a long time. Because it basically goes like this. If my internship is at the hospital, which I think is going to work to my best advantage right now, it would be, I get up at 3:30, I get ready, I go to work at Wesley for a couple hours, 2 hours. I have 30 minutes to transition from Wesley to the hospital, which isn't a very far drive, but in order to keep my eating on schedule, I would need to eat and then go. I'm there for 6 hours. I have 30 minutes to get back to Wesley to work for 4 hours, which I know, 30 minutes, literally less than a mile down the road, doesn't seem like long. It seems like more than enough time, but I would need to eat and check on Maddie and get back to the place I was supposed to be working, work there for 4 hours, get home at 6:30. I've been working since 5:30 that morning. Am I gonna have energy to train? Or what's gonna be sacrificed? Okay, so I'm down to training once a day instead of twice a day. Gonna focus on running. At some point in your routine, you need to kind of take a break from exercise. So at that point, it won't be quite a year. Yeah, see, it's complicated, right? And then, like, in the schedule, there's like, this is the time that you set aside to iron your clothes for the entire week and get all that set out. But it's not like I can just iron one set of clothes per day, because I work in a kitchen and I swear I smell like a freaking fryer like half the time, and I don't even have to be around the fryer. So it's like, you have to take time to change. Like, this is very, like, down to the freaking minute. And I'm not that organized of a person. But I have to be for 5 weeks. It's going to be insane. But it's going to be a perfect test. And so we're going to go with that. Okay. And then, let's see. What else, Maddie? Oh, I have this weird... Okay, granted I haven't lost any weight. I think that I've probably lost some inches and maybe redistributed some weight somewhere. I have a real obsession with my arms right now. I don't know why. Like, I need some toned arms, people. I don't know how to go about that at all. But you can feel that there's muscle there. I gotta get rid of the flap. No, I need to work on that. Because there's actually, I don't know which arm you guys can see. There's actually a muscle there. It's pretty cool. Oh, my 10K is coming up in a couple weeks, so this Saturday was my last run. My last long run. So, I'm pretty excited about that. I need a goal, like, under an hour. I'm thinking under an hour. I can do under an hour. Can I do 50 minutes, though? That's what I need to do. Can I run 6.2 miles in 50 minutes on a race day? On a race day, can I run 6.2 miles in 50 minutes? Or just keep it at an hour, because I'm thinking I can do an hour. Easy. 10-minute pace. Shoot, we're gonna go much quicker than a 10-minute pace. I don't know. I do not know. So basically, life kind of sucked a little bit last week. And trying to turn everything about last week that sucked into ways that it doesn't suck quite so bad. Yeah. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn. And see, here's